everyone, welcome back to Classic Comics. I'm here with another video where I give my choices for the best Marvel villains for a DC character. This time I'm focusing on the Flash, finding the opponents I think are the most suitable for him and giving them new origins and backgrounds for the DCU. One of DC's most popular and enduring heroes, the Flash is known to have one of the best rogues galleries in comics, featuring villains like Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, the Trickster, Gorilla Grodd, and the Reverse Flash, among others. Like my previous videos, I looked at the Flash's rogues gallery to determine what types of categories his villains fit into. Here's what I came up with. Villains with gadgets. These include Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, and Captain Boomerang. Evil speedsters. These include Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and Godspeed. Metahumans. Magenta, the Top, Tar Pit, and Girder. And Magic Enhanced. These include the Shade, Dr. Alchemy, Double Down, and the Fiddler. As with my previous videos, I've worked to create a list that covers a variety of the different categories I mentioned here. And by the way, this list would work equally well for either Barry Allen or Wally West. Finding villains for the Flash is tricky, as his powers present a tremendous challenge for any opponent that faces him. I selected these villains because of their ability to counteract his powers or because they have a similar power set themselves. Now, here's my list of the top 5 Marvel villains for the Flash. Number 5. The Shocker. After repeated arrests, small-time burglar Herman Schultz invented his Vibro Shock Gauntlets in order to open safes, but also found that they made effective offensive weapons. He became one of Spider-Man's regular sparring partners, facing defeat repeatedly over the years. In the DCU, his origin would remain largely the same, but he would come into conflict with the Flash instead of Spider-Man. His Vibro Shock Gauntlets could generate just the right vibrations that could cut off the Flash's connection to the Speed Force, leaving him powerless and forced to find a different way to defeat the Shocker. With this advantage, Shocker would cause trouble for the entire Flash family, making him one of their most difficult opponents. Can't a man just rob in peace? Number 4. Mysterio. Stuntman and special effects expert Quentin Beck wanted to become famous by defeating Spider-Man and taking his place as a crime fighter. Using his skills in the field of special effects, Beck created a system of holographic projectors and pyrotechnics, along with the costumed identity of Mysterio to challenge Spider-Man. He was defeated and became one of Spider-Man's most tenacious foes, returning again and again to gain revenge for his numerous defeats. In the DCU, Beck would create the Mysterio identity to challenge the Flash, using his high-tech illusions to keep the Scarlet Speedster off balance and distracted long enough for Mysterio to make a quick getaway. These tactics would force the Flash to rely more on his smarts rather than simply his powers as he works to determine what is real and what is just illusion, making Mysterio a recurring threat for him over the years. Number 3. Speed Demon. James Sanders was a chemist who was approached by the Grand Master and given a formula for super speed. Using this, he became the Wizard, a member of the Squadron Sinister, each of them being based on a member of the Justice League. The Squadron was pitted against the Avengers and was defeated. The Squadron would eventually go their separate ways, and Sanders would change his name to Speed Demon. He would fight several heroes over the years, particularly Spider-Man, even joining the Sinister Six at one point. In the DCU, Speed Demon would make a natural opponent for the Flash, being one of the few evil super speedsters at Marvel. The Squadron Sinister would have originally been created to fight the Justice League instead of the Avengers, and after being defeated, Speed Demon would strike out on his own. Determined to prove he's the fastest man alive, Speed Demon would seek out the Flash and become one of his most persistent foes and a regular member of Flash's rogues gallery, returning again and again to prove that it is he, not the Flash, who is DC's top speedster. Number 2. Mongoose. The villain known as Mongoose first appeared working for the High Evolutionary. His origins are unclear, but it seems likely that he is the result of the High Evolutionary's genetic engineering. He was sent to attack Thor and faced the Thunder God as well as Spider-Man. Mongoose possesses super speed as well as super strength and enhanced senses as well as deadly claws that can rend concrete. Imagine Sabretooth but with super speed as well. He later returned to face Thor again and also fought Power Man and Thunderstrike. Aggressive and feral, Mongoose has no hesitation in killing his opponents, making him a threat to even Earth's most powerful heroes. In the DCU, he would have been created by Vandal Savage and came into conflict with the Flash. Generally utilized as a mercenary, he would be sent against the Flash by one of his other villains, such as the Thinker or Gorilla Grodd. His combination of strength, speed, and ferocity would push the Flash to his limits, knowing that even a single strike from Mongoose's claws could be lethal, making him one of Flash's most dangerous foes. Before I go any further, let me take a moment to mention that most of the viewers on my channel are not subscribed. So, while you're here, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. That sort of engagement really helps with the YouTube algorithm and gets the channel out to more viewers. Thank you. Number 1. Maelstrom. Maelstrom was the son of an inhuman father and a deviant mother whose genius intellect is rivaled only by his hunger for power. He grew embittered when his parents were both cast out by their societies and grew to hate the Inhumans, the Deviants, and humanity as well. Maelstrom possesses a genius-level intellect, a mastery of genetics and cloning, as well as the power to absorb all forms of kinetic energy. Maelstrom came into conflict with the Avengers, first when he tried to absorb the energies of the Inhumans, and again when he tried to siphon off the kinetic energy generated by the Earth's rotation. This gambit succeeded and he became immensely powerful, as well as growing to giant proportions, but he absorbed too much energy and eventually grew to the point that his body's mass was dispersed across the cosmos. In the DCU, Maelstrom would be an outcast from New Genesis, who was banished by the new gods for being too dangerous and power-hungry. He would make his way to Earth, where he would face the Justice League and be defeated, but he would later return to face the Flash. Maelstrom would present a unique threat for the Flash. He absorbs kinetic energy and would be able to draw power directly from the Speed Force, an infinite source of kinetic energy whenever the Flash gets close enough to him. This would force the Flash to rely on his intellect and cleverness to defeat Maelstrom, as the more he uses his speed powers, the more Maelstrom would feed on him and become more powerful, making him arguably the Flash's most dangerous opponent. Let me know what you thought of this list, and let me know what villains you would have included down in the comments. Also, please like this video and sub to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.